Smart24, driving business.
It's exactly 2 minutes, and of course, welcome to Business Today. I'm Rana Habwe. You're welcome to Business Today. I'm Rana Habwe, together with Pedson Mumbere and Samla Hanifa. In our episode of What's Trending Today, and beginning with President Museveni reinstating Geraldine Sali as the accounting officer, President Museveni has directed the reappointment of Geraldine Sali as an accounting officer within the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives. Earlier this month, the Permanent Secretary Ramadan Gobi had temporarily suspended Sali from her role due to financial concerns. These concerns had arisen from a parliamentary investigation into the alleged misappropriation of supplementary funds at the ministry during the 2021-2022 fiscal year. In the same regard, the state has also dropped charges against the former Uganda National Bureau of Standards Director, David Livingstone. It looks like they're going to be reinstating all the people that they have arrested before. No. I mean, look at this.
No, that is quite intriguing. It all comes back to Parliament. What does this mean for Parliament? Because Parliament is also this is the legislature.
Yes.
It can censure. You know, Parliament can even censure ministers.
But can it anymore? Can it anymore? These are two people that have been trending for the last 2 months, Pedson, in regards to scandal and corruption and misappropriation of funds. I don't even want to talk about what's been happening with the Office of the Prime Minister, but everyone sees it's outside, and the government is perception. Politics is perception.
Actually, the trade committee chairperson is one of the most uncorruptible chairpersons we have in the Ugandan Parliament. That is why most of the investigations are given to him. Honorable, I'm forgetting his name. Honorable, the one who led the investigations into Geraldine Sali's case. He looks at evidence. You cannot.
And this evidence is verified by.
All the evidence was pointing direct at Sali misappropriating money, the money for the supplementary budget. You divert the money because the law dictates you're not supposed to divert this money for its intended purpose. But she diverted the money and then used the money the way she pleases, the way she saw it fit. Because for her, she says, I saved the country, I saved the government a lot of money, because the government intended to rent on this Kingdom Kampala building. Yeah, offices, Kingdom Kampala building. But then
quite members of Parliament sit there. That's true.
Exactly. And yes,
quite a number.
And of course, according to her, it makes sense if you're trying to save and you renovate the former Ministry of Trade where it is located. The office is in Surrey State, of course. But how much money
did you use?
Exactly. Do you intend to use for this purpose? If you use more than the money that was intended for the purpose.
So in this case, what was the PRS side? I mean, like Ramadan Gobi, what was he saying?
No,
what was he accusing Geraldine Sali?
Because when the report was read before Parliament, and of course Parliament overwhelmingly supported this report.
Okay.
The report was in support of removing Geraldine Sali
as an accounting officer. But she's also the PSST.
No, she's not the PSST. She's the permanent secretary for the what?
The permanent secretary of Ministry of Trade.
The PS.
So did they offload or remove her from both duties?
What the PSS did, Ramadan Govi did, was to first relieve her of the role of the accounting officer. You don't touch money, because if you're the accounting officer, you are in charge of the money that comes to the ministry.
The question is, how can a whole ministry give the role of an accounting officer to a PS? The whole ministry cannot have an accounting office altogether, and they leave PS duties to PS.
I think this PS and accounting officer thing,
I find it quite unusual.
There are some PSs, permanent secretaries, who are accounting officers at the same time. It has happened. We have ministries that have accounting officers who are permanent secretaries at the same time. But I think it is very wise for government to decide for permanent secretaries not to get involved in the accounting, not to be accounting officers.
My point exactly.
They shouldn't be involved in the money thing. They should just be signing what the procurement officers have said. If the procurement,
because if I have a requisition and it's coming from the permanent secretary, and at the end of the day I'm also the accounting officer, I'm not going to let money pass by me. It's in my office, my next office. I mean, let's be logical.
But still, that being said, there are some loopholes inside there. But now, if if Parliament says, okay, Geraldine Sally, get aside, you get, and then the president again brings her, where does that put the powers of the Parliament then? So I think there's something that we need to sort in this case here. So it's like, and people have started politicizing it already. You get.
It is not only her, even
but still have
even charges on in the same story. He charges on Iberu, the former UNBS boss. Someone who confessed before a committee of parliament. Yes, I bribed the board members with 100 million. And then after he comes back and says, I said that out of anger, and then...
But they have dropped all the charges already.
Yes, they have dropped.
But now the question is he getting back to office then?
That is the question, because I've had sources, and I have people who work there, and they're like, he was fired from the job. But if all charges are dropped, then yes, he's supposed to take back his position.
They are just going to wait for this air to just wear off, and then they gave him a job, perhaps not back to the same office or the same entity.
I don't know what message the president is trying to point at Parliament right now, but it is from us, the public. We look at Parliament as it's like they have cut their hands. They can't do anything. They spent a lot of money.
Unlike the government, the US government,
you spend a lot of money in investigations. These investigations took a while. They investigated, but still.
Maybe they investigate wrong things.
No, everything.
We need to first know, was Geraldine Sally wrong? Maybe she was not wrong.
Now,
at that point, so the president will say, let me bring her back, because after all, what Parliament did was not.
It is just like the COSASE when it investigated the Uganda Airlines and all that, and it recommended most of the people in the bigger positions be removed from there because of the financial issues, but still there. So I don't know. Parliament loses meaning.
It's unconstitutional, someone would call it. And like other big parliaments, if you compare the same to what is happening in the US, the government is federal. Literally, the president is begging and is on his knees asking the Senate, please vote for my bill, just so that I can get more voters. Here it's the other way around. Send the bill back, I don't like it, remove this clause, and all those are just some of those inconsistencies that we be seeing here, and we surely hope that in case you have any input in regards to some of these stories we run, especially in our trending today, because of course it's trending today and it needs your voice.
It is everywhere.
Yes, it needs your voice. So perhaps you could just give us your insight, and then, because we would like to compare and get a better comprehensive of the story. But of course, more in business today. In May of this year, heavy rains caused the Katonga Bridge to be washed away on the primary road connecting Kampala to Masaka, as we all know, resulting into severe disruptions to numerous businesses within the vicinity. Now, during the rainy season, which is evident, the bridge remains unfinished, concerning, of course, raising concern among those who rely on this route. The Uganda National Roads Authority has provided assurance to the public that within the next 2 weeks, the bridge will be fully restored. But how good and convincing is this assurance? We do have a bite in regards to that. Let's have it and then come back and give it more sense.
Yesterday, I was able to talk to the Deputy ED of UNRWA, and he assured me in 2 weeks, traffic will be allowed to freely move across because they would have completed the alternative route where vehicles can pass. But what makes me perturbed is the fact that they allowed vehicles of tonnage of 30 tons to pass on the bridge, but some vehicles and trucks which carry even less, let's say 18 tons, are not allowed. They allowed buses. Buses at times can even carry 25 tons. But some lorries, for example, a lorry carrying eggs from Golo. Golo is the leading producer of eggs in Uganda. But somebody cannot take his eggs via Zimbabwe to Kampala and you expect them to remain within a profit. And then even so many other people. And for us, our aim is to see as many vehicles using this road as possible. For the people in Rwanda selling fresh fish and selling plantain, gonja, and all these kind of things, they will make more money when more people use the road. So our aim is to see as many vehicles as possible using the route. So we are waiting for the 2 weeks they've said, but in the meantime, they should allow vehicles that have tonnage less than 30 tons to be accessing the road so that the business can flourish.
Well, that's pretty much it from regards to the Katonga Bridge. I mean, that news, reached everyone, especially for people that come from that part of Western Uganda that usually travel. And of course, this story is timely, it's humane, it concerns humanity, and it has come at a time when it is most needed, when we're heading for the festive season.
Exactly.
And in a season where we anticipate more rains and more rains. We have not even come close to December, we are getting close to November. So,
but I think UNRWA is doing something in regard to the construction of Katonga Bridge.
Yeah.
Last time I saw them saying that they are going to, of course, allocate some money to start up the construction, but I don't know where the construction has reached. So you did that story. What is UNRWA's side when it comes to Katonga Bridge construction?
Yeah, interacting from people who use that, like setters who use that route. UNRWA has assured them that in 2 weeks' time, the bridge will be complete. But remember, these rains, that water can easily wash away what has.
But at the moment, big cars are passing. These big vehicles.
No, the big cars are not allowed. Okay. The cars that carry merchandise are not allowed. They use an alternative route which they give them, but they are complaining that the road they use is too far, and by the time they get to their markets, the merchandise is already spoiled. Okay. Especially for the people who deal in poultry, the eggs. The road is terrible.
Most especially those people who are dealing in perishables.
Exactly.
And then taking that.
By the time they get to Kampala, the eggs are broken. There's no way you can convince me that I can pay for something like that.
But I think UNRWA is watching all these things that are happening. I think in the meantime they'll be answering.
They know that
they'll
all
be
this is happening
what
at
is
the week
going on
of the festive season, and so it's up to them really as Uganda National Roads Authority to speed up the process, because they know there's going to be a lot of traffic coming up for the next at least 2 months. And people would want to move.
And remember, it is quite hard to start working, to be working, yet at the same time the rents are coming. You work and the water comes and disrupts what you've already constructed. So we pray and we just hope the catastrophe that happened in May does not happen again, because it can destroy. That is money, of course, wasted. If the bridge is not yet complete and it is destroyed again, that's again money wasted, and it is quite absurd. So, but we pray that, as you know, our promise that in 2 weeks' time the bridge will be complete. It is
just like that.
It is.
So coming up to in our company news tonight, we're seeing that the government of Uganda is in its final stages of granting monopoly rights to Switzerland-based Dutch energy and commodities trading firm. The Vitol aims to supply all petroleum products to Uganda in a deal that was neither advertised for, subjected to open buying processes. Ronan, how we did this very story, and I know you have a lot of information that you're going to tell us in this very program, and you've done this story for long. Please tell us. And then maybe before you come to studio, we're going to first have the story played, and then we'll come back to studio and you break it down for us much more.
Yeah. Companies to Uganda. Now, for a long time now, Kenya has been taking the cake. For reasons best known, we are a landlocked country, we cannot access the coast.
The coast, yeah.
Kenya has been dealing with companies in the Gulf. You can name them Saudi Aramco. Saudi Aramco is the biggest refinery in the whole world that supplies to companies, and has been giving. They have been getting the fuel from there and then supplying to the oil market, the local oil market companies, including Total, Shell, Mogas, Rubis, name them.
Okay.
Now this story is quite interesting. And the whole day I've been trying to research, and I don't know if I can even give justice to it, because I feel like I'm gonna end up leaving some of the things. But it may seem as though that President has already assented to it. In fact, when it was brought to his attention, it was like, speed up the process, let's give UNOC this mandate. Let's let them take over. I mean, Kenya cannot continue doing this to us, you know?
But Kenya has the better advantage for it being on the coast, having the coast. That's
yes, but they're going to remove the monopoly. But this is because if you're removing the monopoly, then you should be moving. The only difference between a monopoly is it should be moving from G to G.
Okay.
Government to government negotiations. Instead, what UNOC is going to do is going to give its deal to a big company, a Danish company called Vital. That one they are playing with a very big portfolio, close to $500 million US, known big company, deals in energy supply, known, but already they have been trading with UNOC for close to a year.
Okay.
That is not even substantial. Close. That is not good at the time for you to gauge that this is the person I want to give the money for a 5-year contract to supply.
So they're saying drama started unfolding on Thursday after.
Yeah, drama started, of course, unfolding on Thursday when, Honorable Ruth Nakamira came to petition, the fuel and saying that effective January 2024, we're going to give the monopoly to UNOC to supply to all markets.
Okay.
But let's see this. Of course, it comes with happiness. This is a song to Miss Ugandans, especially in regards to reducing the competition, reducing the price of fuel. It's music to Ugandans, because if you determine the price, I mean, it's the best, not Kenya. But we also have a bad history in doing business.
Okay. What's the issue?
And not even finished with the Vital. Remember, it would have given us mileage if it was a government-to-government negotiation, but it's not. It's still another monopoly, but not a real monopoly. It is a monopoly direct between UNOC and a certain company.
Okay.
A monopoly has been between Kenya, and then we just get from Kenya. Kenya can decide at what price when we get the oil. That's when you people, when you have issues of fuel prices, you cry. You don't even know if it is with the supplier. The chain has been with dots close to 10. Because once it reaches Kenya, there is more actually reaching Uganda. All this has been happening because we don't have our own fuel.
Okay.
So, questions to ask here are very many. Because of course, some
answers will come along.
Yeah,
Answers will come along.
because people, of course, experts say that they are going to hike the price. Now look at this. If you're a business person and you're selling to a single person, you would charge them highly, right?
But if you're selling to many,
Many
the price can come a little bit down.
makes business sense.
Okay.
Now, the question of the monopoly, yes, like I said, everyone would want
You
that.
want it.
But do we have the capacity to maintain that big company? Can Uganda contain the pressure of that big company, the big vital company? I was looking at their portfolio and I'm like, wow, all this time with that 20 years of experience, they've never made losses. Although I read an article from Cheap Reports that said that the United States wanted to sue them over because they have embezzled money close to $135 million US in corruption and wanting to get bribes, you know?
Okay.
But they have been dealing with UNOC for a long time and they just decided, yes. And then also the question of sustainability. How long is UNOC?
I just want to pray that.
How long is UNOC? We already know their mandate is to protect the oil and gas. You know, in Uganda, to put the resources in Uganda, protect them, have them at heart. It is not even close to 5 years. Do they have the capacity to hold it to heart?
Maybe they have. Maybe they have. But let us see what will come out from that discussion.
And then there is also the question of course, I like this because it's coming at a time when we're anticipating first oil, of course, by 2025. And then the biggest, one of our oil marketers is also into production down in the Albertine, that is Total. So if that monopoly had come I'm actually happy because we're acting fast. If we hadn't acted fast, then imagine someone is drilling from your land, ships outside, brings back, sets the price on how much they're going to cost.
It's just unfair.
So this is a conversation, this is a story that cannot end, and I know it has been making grounds since Thursday. I know I cannot do it justice. It needs a lot of expertise. In as much as it may sound good, there is a lot at play. In regards to governance, in regards to the industry, in regards to even, I mean, for us, we are still excited. Other countries like Germany that have started incorporating electric mobility, they don't care about fuel.
They don't care about fuel.
Just us, because that's all we have, you know?
So I think, Rona, you'll have more information for us in regard to that. And I know you're planning to go and meet the Minister, the Honorable Nakare, in the end of the press conference that will be coming along, and then you come with more information. Still,
I was actually hoping to get an expert on this, though they disappointed me last minute. But I'm really targeting. I mean, but she usually has good insights in regards to this, and of course I should be able to get someone from UNOC because this is a developing story.
Yeah.
I mean, you have seen Monitor and the likes of Cheap Reports trying to make it big, and
you also break it one time. So we're still in company news, yeah. We're looking at Mineral Wealth Conference that is going on right now. Yeah. And then we'll be first going for a short commercial break. When we come back to be the story to be going to look at here at the business today. Let's go in for a short break.
Smart24, driving business.
Anachindesa speed. Mpayo ntya kumbaga ya mwenemu ngankozesa momope.
Iwe joye che bantu bawayo. Owayo che olina sente.
Ndi mu mutwalo.
Mutwalo?
mutwalo ng'agutwelewo.
Mutwalo nga guvaawa.
Leeta amodi. Go amakaliba kojo mutwalo gwakuzira emeka.
Oba 5 oba 6.
Zero this week 3. Logo mutwalo gwendi.
Mulagirire.
Mukone gasita ndala 6
ndala 6 5
3 to ash. Yes.
Merchant code.
Eta merchant code yawo tamu ensanvu. Sanvu emirundi 3.
Negaawo tamu esente doli kuwayo.
Guno mutwalo gwembako.
Tamu piniyo totulimba.
Gogo mazo sasu. Buji. Kyabazinga nebazizi.
Ekisada kirina esente.
Kisada kiba musente.
Munne ekisada kigayiga.
Mutwalo
gutidu.
Pay or shop with MTN Momo and get cashback every week. It's free of charge. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
Luxury redefined at Seasand Hotel as you indulge in the splendor of elegant living fit for the royalty that you are. Step into comfort, pampering and blissful customer-centric service as you select from our range of comfy, exquisite living quarters furnished to meet with your royal preference. Surrounded by scenic beauty, our tropical setting allows you to escape the glamorous ordeal of city life. Our ambient green gardens will guide you to a place of revitalizing rest. The 3-star restaurant caters to your palate, serving your choice menu ranging from exotic cuisines to local delicacies. Our chefs will serve you full course meals for a truly out-of-this-world culinary experience. Our fully stocked bar to whet your throat, from renowned global brand whisks, brandies, gins, beers and wines to our locally celebrated beverages, you will not lack for any brewage. It's an all-new experience in the East at Seasand Hotel. So visit today at Plot 15 to 19 Spire Road, Ginger, or contact us on +256 751 719 960 and +256 785 354 614 for reservations. Seasand Hotels, luxury redefined.
Say goodbye to paperwork and travel costs. Now every MTN customer can register to invest in securities anytime and anywhere with Zabu in a few simple steps. Step 1. Dial *292#. Step 2. Select option 1. Register with Zabu. Step 3. Enter your full names. Step 4. Enter your national identification number. Step 5. Enter your national identification card number. In 24 hours, you will receive an SMS confirming your registration. Congratulations, you are now ready to invest.
Smart24, driving business.
Well, if you just joined us, you're in for the second half of business today, of course, with me, Rona Nahabwe, together with Petson Mumbele and Samla Hanifa. Now, looking at the National Information Registration Authority, that is NIRA, that has been unable to initiate mass enrollment of 17.2 million individuals due to insufficient funding, quite sad. For this undertaking, as per Rosemary Chisembo, the Executive Director of NIRA, the authority also faces a backlog of renewals for national identification cards with a target of 15.8 million people, as these cards are set to expire in August 2024. Quite worrying, Hanifa.
Yeah, it is quite absurd. But I keep asking myself, why should I have an ID that expires?
It has to expire
It is
because
okay.
chance of getting IDs because the agency does not have money.
It will be sorted in the meantime.
You people,
why are you giving assurance on behalf of
Why are you giving
NIRA?
assurance to work for NIRA? NIRA has come out to say they do not have money for this whole process.
So what is it that is going to be done now? Now, because they have accepted, they don't have money, so what is it that is going to happen?
If we as a government, as a country, are looking at cutting down expenses, there are some things that we look at, like now, NIRA, IDs, why should they expire in that very short period of time? And then we have to go through that whole process. It is hectic.
NIRA,
getting your ID.
Have you ever sat on a committee where they discuss national IDs?
Yeah, of course. It is.
And what are usually the pending challenges?
They are discussed on Committee on Defense and Internal Affairs.
Okay.
Though we rarely cover Defense and Internal Affairs simply because it is not business. But that is a very crucial matter. The matter of a national ID, why should it expire in a very short period of time?
I think this is what then these experts should look at. If we don't have money, then the ID shouldn't expire in a short period of time.
Of course,
because to save money.
For security purposes, of course, if you need to verify my Ugandan, my citizenship, get my ID, start looking at, because for the ID, everything is there. The information, my parents, my judges, my great-great-grand, we have given all this information to NIRA.
I think you will make a follow-up on this story. You will find the guys from NIRA, the spokespersonnel, and you have discussion. We have this discussion.
That's a better suggestion.
At length. Yeah. So still in company news, we are looking at Uganda now hosting a mineral wealth conference that is going on at the moment, and according to experts, they are saying this is a pivotal event. It is looking forward to draw investors into the country's mining sector. You see, you have a sector, especially the artisanal miners who have not been regulated, not licensed, and yet there is a lot of money over there. So with the help of Uganda Chamber of Mines and Petroleum and the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, the conference is expected to provide fresh momentum to an industry that is primarily dominated by artisanal miners. Let's have a look at this very story, then after we'll come back to studio and break it down.
In an attempt to attract investors into the nation's rapidly growing mining industry and advance economic growth, Uganda has held the Mineral Wealth Conference. Organized by the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development in collaboration with Uganda Chamber of Mines and Petroleum, this conference is poised to revitalize a sector predominantly dominated by artisanal miners. Peter Lecoris, the Minister of State for Mineral Development, emphasized the necessity of streamlining the artisanal mining sector and empowering industry players to facilitate business expansion.
Regional and continental aspirations. Our strategic objective as government is to promote value addition for employment creation, industrialization, and local content development. The mineral subsector is proud to have been able to realize and actualize huge investments, including Wagagai, Rehas,
Act of 2022, as a country, we do recognize the immense role played by the artisanal miners. And as a result, we have them on board and we encourage all those who are out there and artisanal mining groups that as the Chamber of Mines and Petroleum, we welcome them and want to be able to work with them to help them formalize, to help them be at the place where they can apply for their own exploration licenses or their own mining licenses if they need to, okay? Rather than utilizing other people's licenses and having to pay them royalties or whatever it is. We are also in the process of working out programs to build capacity of artisanal miners in areas of quality, health, safety, and environment, okay? In areas of environmental safety and security and environmental, social and governance structures, ESG, because it is important for the artisanal miners to be formalized and to be assisted since they are a key player in the whole value chain. And it's the reason they are part of the conference, they are here, and as a chamber, our arms are open wide to embrace them, have them part of the chamber, and help them develop and help them so that they can earn more.
Uganda is a mineral wealth country, and geological surveys indicate that the country has the potential for commercial exploitation of over 20 categories of minerals. Already commercial deposits of rare earth elements, graphite, iron ore, among others, have been discovered in different parts of the country. This is in addition to the new potential targets for uranium, nickel, lithium, gold, and others that were picked up during the area survey. In his remarks, His Excellency Jan Sadek, the ambassador of the European Union to the Republic of Uganda, pledged continuous financial support towards the sector.
In the context of the EU's global gateway strategy and together with France, we will be investing some 60 million euros or 240 billion Ugandan shillings in the rehabilitation of the Kira and Lubala hydropower plant in order to provide reliable energy for Uganda's industrialization. In a joint effort with Belgium, we have committed another 50 million euros or 200 billion Ugandan shillings to support skilling and job creation in the country, with a focus on increasing the availability of qualified workers and the employability of youth, as well as creating new job opportunities in the construction, energy, and IT sectors.
Yeah, that's a great conference that is going on at the moment, and it has brought a lot of chambers of commerce from different countries, and very many investors, especially international investors who are already in the country at the moment. So they are looking forward to investing in this mining sector, and start bringing us some little of revenue. Remember, we have artisanal miners in
they actually want the regulations because they are being cheated in the process. These are people who use rudimentary tools to go to the ground.
I mean, clearly from Pedson's story, you can see these are rudimentary methods.
These are cheated in the process because someone comes who knows the value of gold and takes away, and then they give them cheap these
give them
peanuts. These peanuts. Yet government and our gold leaves the country. Of course, it is smuggled out of the country. But it's not only gold. We have so many minerals. Here in Karamoja, these are mineral. There's so many. We have so many. There are some stones which are.
We have iron ore. We have gold. We have graphite. We have lithium. We have nickel. So all these.
Do you know how big of what's the better word? how big of a treasure lithium is.
It is.
For our
Now,
batteries. Do you know how much they are charging us back then?
Now that's what the
manufacture
president
these
is saying. Let us extract these things from here. Let us add the value from here.
Do we have the capacity?
That's when wherever we'll have the capacity, we'll try to source some knowledge and expertise from different countries, and then we start doing the value addition from the country.
We just need people who are patriotic enough not to.
Of course, we'll be getting.
Stop stealing from your own country.
They won't.
Yes, I am bitter about that, because so many countries, we have these Arab nations who are rich. You look at that country, it has no minerals. They don't even have oil, but they are rich because those people are too patriotic. There is no corruption in those countries.
But
those guys are not
Arabs.
Yes, they are not corrupt. We can be like them.
They are allergic to nonsense.
We need leaders who are strict on corruption. These corrupt people, they just go scot-free. They take them to court, and then after they are what? They exonerated. The charges are dropped mysteriously. These people are taking much. They are taking away from our Ugandans money which could have used to develop.
Economy is a key concern to all of us here today. Therefore, our main goal is to collectively improvise ways and means of accessing affordable finance.
Speaking in response to the concerns of small and medium enterprises, the head of the State House Investors Protection Unit, Colonel Edith Nakalema, said that there is a need to have a constructive dialogue on interventions that will see domestic investors flourish. The local small-scale investors had complained about high registration fees, excessive taxes, and lack of knowledge about the workings of the most government agencies, as well as high bank interest. Nakalima summoned key head of government ministries, departments and agencies, as well as financial institutions to provide answers raised by small and medium enterprises.
It is our duty as good-willed citizens, but also as each other's keeper on this planet Earth. We are supposed to keep engaging and ensuring that the challenges we meet in our financial obligations
my colleague here, Rojochi, was to come and talk about in terms of tax collections, how much tax is collected from micro SMEs, even though they are the majority in this country, compared to the few large corporate entities that pay the bulk of the taxes. So if he's unable to collect the tax that we know exists out there, how then as government agencies shall we be able to provide the services to enable the micro SMEs be better at what they do and perhaps even grow?
Yes, those are the issues concerning taxation, high interest rates, but I've just liked the last statement of Trinemas from Bank of Uganda. He was like, but we have to be honest. Sincerely speaking, if you say you don't want to pay tax, you're complaining of paying tax, how do you think then government will get money that will give you services, you SMEs, which services will help you to run your businesses very well?
What services?
Roads, hospitals, markets. Don't you want them? And then you're complaining of
course we have to pay taxes. And
so you see the statement of Commissioner General from Uganda Revenue Authority.
Yes.
He was like, paying tax is good because even the countries that have thrived, they are based on taxes. So we shouldn't call it a big problem on other taxes, but even how many we pay taxes. There's no problem.
As long as the tax system is streamlined. Do you know how people in the US pay taxes? Mortgage. You literally own a home, you pay tax.
So
there is nothing like your landlord is going to sleep on your veranda because you have not paid. You're owing to the government.
But you guys all
listen to me. It's not that there's nothing like that. The water bill, everything, like it is streamlined. You don't feel the pinch, you pay direct. Of course you feel it, but there is a way, there is no harassment. What Hanifa was saying just before we even came back is the way they were trying to brutalize that old lady.
Overtime.
Instead of giving, okay, privilege, when you have privilege, you are less of a target. So they go to the people that are less privileged, and they are the ones that don't even have much. Like a small money they even make, they want to remove it from them. And yet there are people in big offices that actually remit. People make money here, my friend. They have remittances worth more than 1 billion, more than. But and that is why they should spend. But because of bureaucracies and stuff,
yes, there's a lot of bureaucracies.
They choose to just go for downtown people, where the least someone can give you is like 10K a month.
They complained actually. They said the money they make is little than URA is demanding from them in terms of taxes. This is the call of the word of some SMEs.
Exactly.
You're telling me to pay tax, which is even 5 times bigger than my capital.
Than what I make.
You get, and so that's the biggest problem, maybe. And
so why are you crippling the biggest part of the country? How, if you want the country to grow?
That's what URA is. Commissioner Generals, like, they're trying to streamline some of the issues and see who should pay tax, who shouldn't, but the issue of paying tax still has a lot of things.
Every time we sit here and we have a conversation, I ask myself, what could be different? What needs to be done to have a change? Because these things, we are not talking about them today. We have talked about them for years.
Tax.
These are not just happening today, Hanifa.
We pay income
Even
tax.
before we became journalists, we used to see them.
Even babies pay taxes. Newborn babies pay taxes. The pampers.
They wanted to introduce diaper tax.
No, of course there's a tax on pampers. Both. It was introduced in the income. We pay taxes. We do. And of course we have to pay taxes for the economy to grow. But the people who are supposed to pay taxes pay huge taxes, evade taxes. That is the most annoying thing.
I think the issue of taxes should be. But do you know who sets all these things? It is Parliament. And I hear people. URA implements as we're getting.
We started with a story where a person who was fired was by Parliament was brought back. So
but I think
this is not the time to give Parliament power because clearly it doesn't have it.
But I think it was good. It was good for Edith Nakalima, the State House Investors Protection Unit head, to summon these leaders and get to listen from them or to hear from them. Otherwise, You may be saying things, could be Commissioner General is also having other issues, could be the bank system is also having issues. So it is good to come up, to summon them and learn what could be the problem, what should be done, of course. And I think what she did was right. I don't know whether
did she come to a conclusion? Did she get a
at least she may not have come with a conclusion
Yes.
there and then, but at least she has known what to do at the moment.
These things of taxes are very confusing. I remember I questioned the URA person in charge of whatever taxes for this. I told her, if I'm a Ugandan and I want to buy my small car, how come the taxes for importing the car? No, I just asked the simple, like a normal Ugandan, I want to buy my small car from outside. How come the taxes I pay on that car are more than the tax? More than the price of the car.
And Rona, we shall come up with that more information in our next business today. But for now, it's a buy from ours from the